What's going on, guys? Tearing down 94 Jeep YJ, doing a motor swap, 6-liter motor swap, LQ9, so it's a high compression one. Ripping out the 6-cylinder stroker motor. I put the supercharger on. Just got tired of it. It was a good motor, but I had my fun with it. Now I'm on to, hopefully onto some real power, but that's for later on. Just been tearing everything out. Bought the motor last night. Been tearing out the transmission, getting just a bunch of wires unhooked. I don't have a transmission jack right now. I have to go get one tomorrow. But torque converter bolts are taken out. All the wiring's done. Skid plate's off. All I gotta do is take off 2 more transmission bolts tomorrow when I get the jack, and then rip the trans out. Fuel line's still hooked up. Motor mount's still hooked up. Everything's still hooked up with the motor pretty much. Just been ripping out a bunch of wires. It was a mess, but I've been working on it for about an hour now, just cleaning some stuff up. Getting ready to rip it out. Fill some holes in the engine bay. Paint it. Get the motor mounts for the 6.0. Drop it in there. I got a Turbo 400 for it already, so just got to put it all together. Not gonna leave that motor stock. I'll put I'm gonna call up Texas Speed and tell them what I plan on doing with it, the power I'm expecting, and get a head scan package, and then probably do some kind of EFI system, probably a Holley. Just keep it nice and simple, wiring nice and clean. But I've been working on this Jeep for a while now, on and off. Probably about the better part of 8 months now, but the Cobra's been taking up all my time. Drag racing that all season, so the Jeep is kind of put on the back burner, but I'm ready to get back to it. Got Dana 60s front and back, ARBs 538s, chrome ollies front and back, high steer. I mean, still leaf spring, so, but it should be a pretty fun rig when it's all said and done. Gotta probably throw Atlas 2 in there, whole clean for 500 horsepower out of the motor, built Turbo 400 and a little half cab action. Should be a pretty fun rig. Probably 40-inch Trepadors. I'm not really too short in the tire yet, but definitely 40. I had a set of 43s on there, but with the lift and how low I wanted it, just didn't work out too well, so dropped them back down to a 40. A little bit more info on the Jeep. It's actually on Jeep Wagoneer stock leaf springs in the front, which extends them 2 inches forward, and then it's supposed to lift it 2 inches also. The back is just bone stock XJ. Rear leaf springs, just the springs themselves are supposed to set the axle back 6 inches, but also have the rough stuff purchased that I think set it back an extra 2 inches, so 8 inches stretch in the back and then 2 in the front, so pretty long for leaf springs. I got the Moto built rear bumper relocation. I get the shackles go outside, so trying to get as much wheelbase as I can while staying leaf springs too. Well, it's a few days later. I've been super busy with work, so I haven't been able to work on the Jeep too much, but finally getting the transmission out. Have everything disconnected, have it lowered some. Just unhooking transmission shift down linkage. And then I got, hopefully I don't have to unhook the transfer case shifter, but she's ready to come out. And then I gotta unhook some more wires and just keep working at it. But it's actually snowing outside right now. Supposed to get about 6 inches of snow. Cobra's hanging out in the rain, in the snow. Nice and light out. Just keep knocking this thing out. Just got the transmission completely out of the Jeep. Transfer case connected as well. It's a AW4 transmission. I have a 2001 Cherokee, so it's a 4-speed, and I used to have the torque converter lockup, one of these switches over here, so it's actually pretty much a 5-speed. I could go on the highway and click and lock up the torque converter, and RPMs would drop significantly. Really nice drive on the road. I only had this transmission here for about 4 or 5 months before I took the axles out, so didn't really have much time on it, but probably the best mod I ever did to it. If I could choose anything to do from the very beginning, definitely be that trans. Night and day difference of the power it could take, and then just all around good transmission. NP231 transfer case. the slip yoke eliminator. Always did me good. I don't think I'm going to use any of that on the LS. I'll be doing a Turbo 400 with hopefully an Atlas, probably 4-speed. So Turbo 400 should definitely be a hell of a lot bigger than that. I'm not sure if I have to modify the transmission tunnel any at all. But transmission's out, transfer case is out. A lot of stuff under here is completely gone. I got the inline fuel pump. Still got to unhook more wires up for the motor mounts, hook the engine hoist up and try to pull that out. I plan on getting rid of all the wires in the entire Jeep, besides the wires for the brake lines. Just rewire the whole Jeep, make it as clean as I can. Well, it's been a few days since the last time I recorded. I've been super busy with work. I leave at 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, don't get home until around 8, so not much time to work on the Jeep, but I got home a little earlier today and decided to rip the motor out. Probably about 9:30 now. Only took me about an hour and a half to get it out. Nothing too hard about it. The trans was already out. I got a lot of the wires unhooked the other day, so I didn't have to unhook any wires on the motor. Just the radiator, the transmission cooler, and the lines for all of that stuff. So motor's finally out. Transfer case is out. There's nothing really left in the Jeep besides the main harness for the fuse box. It goes, so I guess, I don't know if this would be the computer of the Jeep, and that goes inside the dash. And I've ripped a lot of these wires out already, but I don't exactly know what setup I'm going to run on the motor. If I'm going to run the Holley EFI, and if I do that, I'll probably just do the Holley dash too while I'm at it. So I might end up just ripping every wire out of the whole Jeep and running the Holley dash, and then just getting the custom switch panel to flick on the lights, electric fan, stuff like that. There's officially no wires left in the engine bay. I didn't really expect to go this far with it, but where the fuse box is on the other side, the wires that come out to go to the fuse box underneath the hood, all that's pulled out. All the wires for the headlights, the turn signals, all that. The only wires left in the Jeep are for the headlights, but there's a little bit left I have to do under here. I plan on eventually coming in and welding all these holes, grind them down, try to get the firewall smooth as I can and paint it. Paint it all black inside, make it look nice. I mean, I got wires for the winch, but I would consider that anything for the Jeep. But definitely coming along, probably just about as far toward down as I'm going to get it. I ordered some motor mounts for the LS. Got to cut some brackets off in here, just try to clean everything up while everything's out. Got the motor loaded up on a pallet. Got another pallet over there for the transmission transfer case. The last little bit of stuff I have for it. Well, looks like the Jeep's finally past the point of no return. No dash, no fuse box, no wires. The only wires I need are for the windshield wipers. These are still for the brake lights and turn signals, but I probably just need it for the brake lights. Just hook it to the switch on the brake pedal. I still have this wire right here is power and ground for the heater on and off. It's just gonna be wide open or off. The antenna wire I haven't taken out yet. These are just for, I would imagine, like turn signals and the lights going on to right above. Oh, you can't see it anymore because the dash is out, but probably just turn signals and whatnot. But that's gonna get ripped out too. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the steering column or just take it out and just run a solid shaft out to the steering box. But this is probably as far as it's gonna get torn down. I'm gonna go on and order the GenRight aluminum dash. It's just gonna be flat all the way across, and then throw the Holley screen in the middle with all the switches. Motor mounts are on the way. I still gotta cut the old mounts off and then start putting them back together, but there's just shit everywhere right now. I actually have the Turbo 400, just the core, so I can mount that in there. I'm going to pick up the transfer case tomorrow for it. Do an MP241C, so I can get that all in there next week, hopefully. Make transmission cross member, skid plate. I might try to use the old skid plate, I'm not too sure yet, but she's finally tore apart. Here's another quick update on the Jeep. I got the dash in today. I just put put it on there. Nothing's bolted in or nothing like that. But after looking at it once it's in there, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna leave the aluminum look or what. I think it'd look better black. I mean, sucks the windshield motor's in the way. Same with the steering column. All looks kind of weird, but maybe once it's all cleaned up and everything's black, it might look a little different. But that's for a master on-off switch, but I don't think I'm gonna run that. I actually bought a bracket. I'm gonna have to cut in and come in from behind. That holds a little radio, rocker switches for the air lockers, and a little port for your USB. But instead of running the head unit in this thing, I actually got, that's a little amp that goes on that bracket. It'll run 4 speakers and everything like that, so that's pretty nice. And instead of actually having a head unit, where's that thing at? Oh, right here. It's all Bluetooth. It should have worked pretty sweet. Volume, power. It'll skip the track and it'll show a little display on it. So instead of running a big head unit, all I got is this little guy. This also goes on that little bracket, so it'll be pretty nice tucked up in the corner here. All the holes for the switches, the Holley screen will go right there. It'll come out a little bit, but I still have to cut the hole to mount the windshield back through to the dash, so that shouldn't be too bad. And actually this wire that's going to for the windshield wiper motor wasn't cut either, but I just have it setting in there for now. It sucks. I don't know what I'm going to do about the defrost yet, but that's for later to come. Pretty sweet though, pretty happy with it. Like I said, I don't like the aluminum look, but the black should be fine. But probably won't get much done to it this weekend. I'm going out of town, but for now, this is how it's going to sit.